with Shimano pedals, I like to take them off and grease them. One of the highest friction points on a bicycle is the pedals. People spend a lot of money on a lot of different things and yet use super dry, rotten old pedals that have tons of friction in them. And the easiest way to do this with Shimano is pack this full of grease, and when you put it back on, it'll force all the old grease through the bearing and out, and then you wipe off the excess. Make sure there's no grit on your fingers or however you're going to put it in. If you have a grease injector, that would be ideal. This is the messy part. And you'll see the grease start coming out over on this end. You can see it already starting to come out here, all the old grease. I'm pretty sure it's a 17mm wrench. I happen to have an 11/16, which does the job on this pedal. And I don't know if the camera's picking it up, but you can see all the grease coming out right there, and it's starting to come out red, which means it's flushing out a lot of the old grease. I won't lock it down yet until I wipe off all of the excess. The speed plate pedal users of the group, they have grease injectors that you can buy. Needle injectors, a lot of bike shops stock them. And I'm just going to spin it a bunch of times. And wipe off the excess and move to the next one. I don't do this all the time, probably once a year, once every other year. I usually spin the pedal. If it starts to sound even semi-dry, I do this. Pedals that spin too free usually means that there's no grease in there. A quiet pedal means that there's most likely grease in it. After your first ride, you will have to re-wipe down that area because more grease will force out. And the lesser expensive Shimano pedals, they don't have a wrench you can use. You need to buy a special tool because it's plastic. It's a spline tool. If you try taking it off with the pliers, sometimes you get lucky, but I have broken many of the plastic end pieces. So I say spend the 5, 8, 10 bucks for the right tool if you care about greasing them. If you don't, you'll be fine. Shimano's are durable. But if you're a stickler for a good setup and less friction, it's a good thing to service, because most bike shops, this is an area that they will actually service. They just sell you new pedals instead of servicing. Because that's how it goes. See, your speed play frogs have a little screw right there. You can take that out and you can inject grease right through your bearings.